Washington, D.C. to talk Ukraine. What's going on, folks? I'm going to get my little mirrored image over on TikTok. Welcome, TikTokers. Welcome, YouTubers, mighty Twitchers, everybody else. How's everybody doing? I took the weekend off to, still doing work, but giving my voice a rest, although I ain't convinced that it's helped, but maybe it helped. I'm not fully convinced. Oh, wait, audio's not working for TikTok. Hang on. Is audio working for you guys? Hang on, guys. One sec. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's weird. Hang on, guys. Let me unplug and replug this again. My mic. All right, there's a little bit of a delay. Is it working now? Hang on, TikTokers or YouTubers. Well, no. I need to know if it's working now because it was unplugged a second ago. Okay, now it is still working. Okay, good. I had it unplugged and plugged it back in, and that worked. Very weird. Anyway, welcome to my life. The magic of technology going wrong. I swear to God, seriously, you have to have like a PhD in tech, which means being old enough to have used it forever, just to be able to guess. Like in this case, I thought I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in. It works. Who knows why? Anyway, guys, welcome. Thanks for joining me. We will get rolling as always. What I'm going to do today, similar to what we did on Friday, we're going to do an hour of Ukraine news. I'm going to do about 20 minutes, of course, starting off telling you the news. Then we'll do question and answer. And then at the end, we'll wrap up at 7 o'clock. And then we will go over to my Discord and we will, thank you, Mike Webb, we will keep talking about the news. We'll move on from Ukraine and we will talk about the latest Trump news and anything else that's up. So this will be our Ukraine section. So anybody who doesn't want to join us to talk Trump doesn't have to join us in the Discord, but we'll be moving to Discord in an hour. And my Discord is discord.aravosis.com. My last name is in the profile. So let's get rolling, guys. I will talk about my store later too. I've got 2 new shirts in the store, aravosis.com. But first, the big news out of Ukraine is that it appears the Ukrainians just blew up 100 Wagner mercenaries. Now, these guys are the bad guys. These guys are the murderers. They are affiliated with an oligarch who's one of Putin's best friends. He's referred to as the chef, Putin's chef. Is the nickname they give him because he's so close to Putin. This guy runs the mercenaries, and these are folks that Putin uses around the world, and he basically uses them because he can use them to commit all sorts of murder that he wouldn't normally have his troops do. Having said that, as we've seen in Ukraine and we've seen around the world, it's not like Russian troops aren't willing to commit a lot of war crimes on their own, but the Wagner types are even worse. Well, the Ukrainians appear to have blown up their headquarters in Popasna. Now, let me show you on the map where that is. I went and checked it out. So I've got west of Luhansk, south of Severo. Oops, moving my chair over. So here's Luhansk, west of Luhansk, south. So you're pretty much, I would say where the L is in Luhansk is pretty much where Popasna is, where their headquarters is for the Wagner group. And what happened was, this is actually pretty funny. Let me read you this from Institute for the Study of War. The Wagner group reportedly maintains a headquarters in Popasna. A Russian military blogger. Now, military bloggers are basically citizens on their own who blog about the military. A lot of them, if not all of them, are former Russian military, and they've gotten quite a big following among Russians back home. And I would say due to the Ukraine, this is the fault of the Ukrainians, but the Russians have been trying to sort of keep up with the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians have done, thank you, Dee, the Ukrainians have done such a good job with using the internet, using social media, making fun of the Russians, getting out their information, getting out the videos, that the Russians feel like they've got to keep up with the Joneses. So thank you, Lou. I haven't seen that one before. So the Russians feel like they've got to keep up. So they've been letting these military bloggers blog about the war, and they've even embedded them with the troops, and they're not clamping down on them. Well, it looks like this military blogger got the Russians killed. A Russian military blogger. Listen to this. A Russian military blogger posted imagery on Telegram. Telegram is a social media account, very popular with the Russians and the Ukrainians. He posted imagery on Telegram of his reported visit to the Wagner Group headquarters, which he claimed was in Popasna on August 9th. This location likely allows Wagner Group Command to coordinate various offensive operations in the northeastern Donetsk, blah, blah, blah. Various Russian and Ukrainian sources reported that Ukrainian forces targeted and destroyed the headquarters on August 14th, 5 days later, possibly based on geolocation of the aforementioned mill blogger's Telegram post. Mind you, geolocating it too, whether it was that the post itself included the information or what these guys are really good at doing, the military intelligence guys, they look at everything in the area. They look, is that a building that is in Popasna? The building across the street, does that look real? And they just, reverse engineer and say, yes, this is real what we're looking at. Thank you, Ellie, for that. Well, this is apparently the, I read it and I didn't write it down. The rest of the Russian military blogging community is livid with this guy. Because now the Russians, at least, are convinced that their own guy spilled the beams and got the Wagners blown up. And mind you, it's the Wagner headquarters, which is fabulous. So now this is probably going to, which actually I'm not sure I'm a fan of. It's probably going to get the Russian military blogging cut back to a degree because the Russians are going to put more restrictions on it for security and things like that. I'm not sure we like that because, frankly, these guys, I will tell you this, Institute for the Study of War, which is a defense think tank here in DC that I read a lot, they get a lot of their information from Russian military bloggers. These guys are, they're very helpful to us. They're helpful to, well, in this case, they're helpful for literally geolocating the headquarters of these mercenaries, but they're also good at giving you a sense of the morale and everything else. So it may not be a great thing for us if Putin finally figures out that he's got to rein these guys in. I have to drink hot tea because, as you can see, my voice is like no better than it was last week. Ukrainian forces are continuing to strike. Let me show you here in Kherson. Kherson, you might recall, is the province here. It's a city and a province, and it is the area that we believe the beginning of the Ukrainian counteroffensive will be at. Now, keep in mind, it's not clear when the counteroffensive is starting. It's not clear if it already started. The Ukrainians were claiming the other day that when they blew up the Russian airbase here in Crimea, that was actually the beginning of the counteroffensive. So, who knows? From what I was reading, the Russians still outnumber the Ukrainians in terms of their weaponry, their heavy weaponry here in Kherson. And the Ukrainians have been continuing to blow up their moderators. Sorry, we're having mod issues over on YouTube. If anybody wants, or TikTok, if any of the YouTube folks can go over there. I'm sorry, you guys got me off track. I saw you guys complain about moderators, and I wanted to make sure I helped you out. So what the Ukrainians have been doing, they're still blowing up ammunition depots here. They're still blowing up the bridges, and they're trying to basically cut off everybody. These guys north, but even these guys south, blow up enough of their ammunition, blow up enough of their command and control, their headquarters, so that these troops start to suffer, so that they actually start to not have enough ammunition, not enough food and water, right? So the preparedness of the troops drops, and the thought is that they're waiting for that to happen before they really start the counteroffensive. So what we had happen in the last day or two was the Ukrainians once again attacked those bridges. We've talked before, the three bridges where the Ukrainians keep hitting are the bridges going along this waterway. This is the Dnipro River, or Dnieper, I guess as the Ukrainians call it. It cuts through all of Ukraine, pretty much cuts Ukraine in half. And down here is very important because there's a contingent of the Russian military that is north of the river. Everywhere else, they're south of the river or east of the river. Here, they're north. So what the Ukrainians figure, quite smartly, if they can keep blowing up these bridges, because they can blow them up, but they can't, basically, they've got the weaponry to damage the bridges so they can't be used, but then the Russians fix them and then they got to damage them again. They don't have the weaponry to necessarily just drop a bomb and the whole bridge erupts and there's no more bridge. Okay. So that's why you keep hearing about the Ukrainians hitting the bridge, because they do 3 bridges here and then the Russians keep fixing them. Hopefully the goal is to cut off the Ukrainians on the north side, the north and west side of the river, from getting reinforcements from the south. So overnight, August 13 and 14, which would have been this weekend, they were hitting the Antonovsky Road Bridge again. This was interesting, actually. So Ukrainian, one of the heads of the Kherson Oblast, which is the Kherson region, occupied by the Russians, but this is part of the Ukrainian, the legitimate Ukrainian government, claimed that a significant portion of the Russian military command left Kherson City, likely to avoid being trapped if the Ukrainians successfully cut off the bridges when the big war starts again. Again, the river here, Kherson City, is north of the river. So that's the really big prize the Ukrainians are trying to get by cutting off the bridges here. And if that's true, it means the Russians are so worried that they've actually moved their military headquarters out of Kherson City, probably down somewhere south here. It's a good sign that the Russians are worried, and it's a good sign that the Ukrainians' strategy is the right idea. What else? Ukraine's continuing to target the Russian ammunition. We know that. The more Russian recruitment centers have been targeted in Russia. You may recall that, and the number now is up to at least 20 military recruitment offices keep going up in flames in Russia. Most of them, a lot of them, have been filmed by the people doing it. They're Russians, apparently, and they're Russians who are not thrilled about the war. And they have been throwing Molotov cocktail bombs at the recruitment centers and causing a lot of damage. Thank you, David. And the Russians have not been very happy about this. One sec. The Kremlin-sponsored outlet RIA Novosti claimed that police detained 2 followers of the Antifa movement, who knew, in Russia, who attempted to set a military recruitment center in Krasnoyarsk on fire on August 10th, which would have been 5 days ago. And this is where they then say that there have been at least 20 attempts to set recruitment offices on fire since the war began. That's pretty bad. I mean, that's pretty bad. Russian state-controlled media says that Kremlin proxies in Donbass are ready to sentence 5 foreigners who fought for Ukraine. Now, let me explain this a little more. They're in eastern Ukraine, okay? You've got the Donbass region. Donbass is all of this. It is broken down into 2 provinces, oblasts, as they say in Ukrainian and Russian. You've got the Donetsk Oblast and the Luhansk Oblast, okay? Together, they're Donbass. So you'll often hear it combined as one when they're talking about Putin's aspirations to basically just annex this and make it part of Russia, okay? Now, what is happening is the Russians have been causing a lot of hell here since 2014. They've installed their own local fake government, the people's government or whatever they call themselves in the 2 regions. They're not the legitimate government, but they are in control of some of the foreign fighters who have been fighting for the Ukrainian army and have been doing a show trial of them. So therefore, 5 of the foreigners who have not been tried yet, but are about to be sentenced, or I shouldn't say this, their trial's not over, but are about to be sentenced, are in the hands of the Kremlin proxies in Donbass. So they're in the hands of the Ukrainian collaborators, the Ukrainian traitors who are working for the Russians, okay? So they're about to do the trial. I think they did the trial. They're about to be sentenced. And hang on here. They are Matthias Gustafsson from Sweden, Vyacheslav Prebeg from Croatia, John Harding from the UK. There's 2 more that aren't being mentioned, and it's saying they may face the death sentence. Jeez, I was going to say the death sentence. Here it says the death penalty after the trials. So keep an eye on that. Brittany Griner, the female basketball star, American, who was kidnapped by the Russians and put her on trial for some, purported drug crimes, whatever. She is appealing. Now, I don't know if my friend Marion's here, because Marion is a lawyer with an expertise, American lawyer with an expertise in Russian law. And I don't know, the way her lawyer was describing it was, oh, they screwed up so many of the procedural aspects that the higher court should throw out the case. And I was reading this going, does the higher court ever throw out the case when Vladimir Putin doesn't want the higher court to throw out the case, right? Because in this case, clearly Putin wants this to be, he wants Brittany to go to jail so he can then trade her for some other spies and things. In any case, they're appealing. The appeal can take as much as 3 months. But what is interesting is a top Russian diplomat said discussions were moving ahead on a possible prisoner exchange. And from what I've read publicly, that was the first positive news showing any kind of an indication of the talks moving ahead. Remember, the last information we had was a week or two ago, where the Russians were basically ignoring Secretary of State Blinken of the United States. Lavrov, the Russian, was simply just kind of ignoring him. So that's potentially is good news. But again, they've got to negotiate it out. We'll see what happens. Today I'm going to yawn at you guys because I slept awfully last night. And I caught myself yawning at the haircutter earlier today, and I'm going to be yawning at you again tonight. Decaf tea, otherwise I'd be in much better stead right now. All right, one more. All right, so Russia is targeting, thank you, Eli. Russia is targeting the Zaporizhia nuclear plant again. On Monday, the Ukrainian company that oversees the nuclear plants said that Russian forces had, in the past week, targeted a fire station outside of the plant that is responsible for extinguishing fires at the facility in the event of an emergency. Ukraine destroyed yet another Russian attack helicopter. Ukrainian Air Force reported on August 15th, which would be today, that it destroyed a Ka-52 Alligator helicopter in the early morning in the Donetsk Oblast, which is out to the east. This is the third Ka-52 helicopter downed by Ukraine within the last 3 days. So that actually is pretty good news that they're on a roll here. I've only got 2 more stories. I don't have a ton of news to give you guys today. There isn't like a ton. Haircut confirmed, exactly. Haircut confirmed. News, not so much news today, but we can do more Q&A that way. A little more. Latvia is delivering 4 helicopters to Ukraine. Local media reports that Latvia sent 2 Mi-17 helicopters and 2 Mi-2 helicopters to the Ukrainian Air Force. Latvia has already supplied Ukraine with weapons, including Stinger anti-aircraft missiles worth more than 200 million euros, which is the same in dollars, more or less. And Belarusian activists, Belarus is the country that is up here. So might as well sort of, because I always assume people know, but they may not, since I'm using sort of a map that just shows you Ukraine, okay? Russia is up here, okay? All over here is Russia, and then kind of going on forever, all right? Belarus is over here. Belarus is another former Soviet country. Oops, sorry, there you go, over here. Another former Soviet country. It is run by a dictator named Lukashenko. The people seem to be pretty good people. Not super thrilled with the dictator, almost got rid of him a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and Putin stepped in and saved Lukashenko's butt. So Lukashenko has been helping Putin with the war, but, excuse me, he's not been, he hasn't declared war on Ukraine. He hasn't sent Belarusian troops into Ukraine. What he's doing is he's letting the Russians use Belarusian soil in order to launch attacks on Ukraine. And I'm guessing it's probably as far as he could go because his people really don't want him entering the war, and his military is probably far beyond the capabilities of what the Ukrainians have. So what is now happening, Belarusian activists say Russia is amassing a significant force in Belarus for a massive missile strike on Ukraine. Preparations are underway for an attack on the territory of Ukraine in the coming weeks, according to Belaruski Hayun, a local Telegram channel, which has observed a massive influx of ammunition in Belarus. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised. No, are they talking? They're talking missiles. Okay, missiles. Thank you, Netlin. I wouldn't be surprised because, as I said, what the Belarusians are doing is letting the Russians do it. Now, what's interesting is what the Russians are going for. Because firing from up there, I don't know kind of what it gets you. The main fighting that's going on now, which has been for a while, the Russians now occupy outside Kharkiv over here. Then you go down, and mind you, everything back to Russia when I'm pointing this out, okay? So above Kharkiv, going kind of south, around here, Severodonetsk, going down south of the Zaporizhia, the city of Zaporizhia, and again, everything here below. Cut across the river here, and then cut across a little bit north of the river, over including the town of Kherson, which is north of the river. Everything south, Russian occupied, including Crimea, which is the Ukrainian peninsula that the Russians stole in 2014. It's still Crimean. So what, let me see. So yeah, so the idea of the Russians putting a lot of missiles up here when the fighting is over here and the big fighting for the counteroffensive is expected to be here. So why the hell would you want to put a ton of missiles up here? You know, I guess in part it might depend on how far the missiles can shoot, right? Maybe those missiles will help them to hit further south if they can go far enough. I'm also wondering if they're not, yeah, I'll have to sell that map when the war is over. It'll be the actual map I used. Oh, hi, Volodymyr. You're from Donetsk. Wow. Wow. I hope you're okay. Sorry, we have somebody from Ukraine checking in with us here from Donetsk, which, as I told you, is the town and the region here. Now, what's interesting is Luhansk, the region in the further east, the Russians occupy almost 100%, like 98%. Donetsk, which is the province here where Volodymyr is from, the Russians occupy maybe 50%, maybe 60%, but beyond that, it's been very difficult for them. That's the place I was telling you the other day that the Russians made very little progress in the last month fighting there. The Ukrainians just are dug in extremely well. They know the territory better, and it's just, yeah, it is not going to be as easy for them, the Russians, to take that area as it has eastern Ukraine and sort of southern Ukraine. And the reason I keep drinking my tea, excuse me all, is because I've had this crazy voice thing for like 5 weeks now, and nobody knows what it is. So I think if warm tea helps, warm tea helps. Who knows? It is frustrating me. All right, that is it for the news. For you guys, if you would, on TikTok, go to my profile. I will show you. Go to my profile, and you will see a Q&A box. Here you go. That's my profile. And the profile, very easy to find, right? There's my videos, very top, you know, the profiles. Get really close, and you'll see a line that has, you know, next live event, Q&A, and tips. Q&A. Tips are how you give me tips that that TikTok doesn't take a cut of, so we like those. And Q&A is how you leave questions. So I hit the Q&A box, and I can read whatever questions you guys have put for me. See? I'll show you guys just to show you, since you may wonder how it works over on TikTok, but it's kind of nice because that way the questions, I can read them here, but that way the questions are fixed in time and I can go back and keep looking at them. For you all, obviously feel free to enter the questions in your comments box. Anybody on YouTube, you're also free to do a super chat question. Let me go and look to see if you guys even submitted any on TikTok yet, and I will answer those questions first. Yeah, there's been buffering problems the last week. I've got some folks who are kind of helping me, and I reported it to them to see if they know what's going on, and I don't know. Trying to work with some tech folks to see if anybody can figure out what the deal is. This is my sexy voice. I hate my voice like this. It's driving me crazy. Also, because it's like a little, my throat's actually tight when I talk, and it's just very annoying. I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. Why do strangers think that I would ever allow you to go live with me when you're a complete stranger? I've been getting a lot of weird spam lately. I had, oh God, some woman yesterday. Okay, I have to show you this real quick. It's actually almost topical. Some person yesterday texts me, and I'm like, what did I, oh, that's right, it's gone now. Text me, and it's like, hey, wait, I'm going to pull this up. I put it on Twitter because I thought it was the funniest damn thing I'd seen in a while. And I knew what was coming. I smelled a rat as soon as this went up. Hold on, guys. This was very funny. I was texting. Here we go. So this woman texts me, and it's, "Hi, John. We had a brief exchange in New York." I'm like, "A brief exchange? A brief exchange in New York?" And I'm like, "Well, I lived in New York back in 2016, 15, 16, but I haven't been there since early 2017. So I'm thinking, we had a brief exchange in New York 7 years ago. Here's the contact information you left for me." I'm like, "Here's the contact information you left for me?" Well, no, because then it would be you giving me, right? "Here's the contact information" means she's giving me my own contact information. So the English is very good, but not right, which is always, always, always a sign of trouble. So, "Here's the contact information you left me. I'd like to continue the conversation with you. Please, do you have a moment?" And I wrote her, and I'm going, this has got to be a scam. So I wrote her back and I said, "I don't know who you are. Can you send me a face pic?" And she sends me, I love this. She sends me this picture, right? Now, just to show you guys too. And of course, underneath it, it says, "Do you know me, or do your friends know me?" Now I'm thinking, okay, if I gave you my phone number, why would you be saying, "Do my friends know you?" Like, right? Well, so I put it up on TikTok because so then I wrote back to her and I wrote this. So this is what I wrote back to her. And of course, she didn't get the joke. And she goes, "Why do you ask that?" Which, of course, sure sign that she's not American, because she's now not getting the humor. Well, then one of my TikTok followers goes, "Zoom into the upper corner of her glass, of the mirror." You zoom into the upper corner of the glass, and what's there? Lest I show you. This is what's in the upper corner of the mirror. It says Moskvichka Beauty Bar. Like I'm going to go with Little Cute Moscow Beauty Bar. Moskvichuk. She's a fucking Russian. And I'm like, oh my God. I think I may have been approached by a Russian honeypot. I'm so excited. Exactly. They catfished me. Of course, the Russians are doing pretty bad. If they're catfishing me with hot blonde women, this is almost as bad as the Chinese. I got another one today. I'm sorry, but on the gay apps, about six weeks ago, I'm single. I go on gay apps to meet guys. And actually 8 weeks ago now, I started getting messages from Chinese guys who every single one of them lives 7 to 9 miles away from me. Every single one. There's nothing 7 to 9 miles away from me. And if you know these apps, like, it's hard to find guys 7 to 9 miles away from you. Typically, you only see people within, a mile or two of you. Nonstop Chinese guys all the time. And I think it's been 2 months of this, of the Chinese guys. And I mean, they're good looking guys, but I'm not freaking like, sure, I've suddenly become really hot in Chinese circles just 2 months ago. and apparently blonde Russian women's circles in Moscow, I'm very hot as well, just for the record. Oh, it's so wild. Oh, they're clearly trying to hack. Yeah, they're clearly trying to hack. Oh my God. Anyway, oh my God. Yes, I'm not going to make any jokes about it. So, all right, let me go and look for questions, but it's really crazy. It's really crazy. I'm telling you, Elevate Thought, they can't figure out what the problem is. They think it's reflux. So I've been taking pills for that. I relaxed the voice all weekend. It didn't do a thing. It didn't even improve one lick with me not using another weekend. More tea. Anyway, all right, guys, let me pull the questions here. I will try to use my lower voice as I do this. Oh God, so annoying. All right, Q&A on TikTok. Do you think the Russians will invade Moldova? Not at this point. Not at this point. I mean, they were making a lot of hoo-ha over it previously. Yes, I do not click any links. Moldova is over here. Transnistria is a portion of Moldova that's right here bordering Ukraine. And that's the section that the Russians still have troops in. It's kind of a breakaway province, so to speak, broke away with Russian help. And the Russians have troops stationed here to kind of keep it broken away, from mainstream Moldova. The Russians had been rabble-rousing a lot about this region. They had been causing a lot of trouble. They'd been trying to destabilize it. And we were trying to figure out why. The thinking was that what the Russians were after was they wanted to move Ukrainian troops away from the war zone. One of the things, if you think about it, the war zone is over here. If this were in play as well, right? If this were in play as well, the Russians moving into Transnistria and all of this, and maybe even some of these troops that aren't that many of them. I mean, literally, it's a couple thousand coming in. The Ukrainians would have to put more troops here just in case. Anytime the Ukrainians have to put more troops away from the actual war zone, it's a waste. And I think that's why they're doing it. So they keep trying to rabble rouse just to scare the Ukrainians enough that the Ukrainians think, well, we don't have a choice. We're going to have to move people. Some troops over closer to Transnistria, but I don't think there's any chance of an invasion going on. I don't think so. Harvey, you had a question here. Hold on. I'm going to up my air conditioning a little bit here. Anybody who does the drink on that one. Oops, here we go. Harvey, thoughts on Kissinger's comment? Oh God, what did he do now? The man's like 120 years old. Thoughts on Kissinger's comment that we are at the edge of war with the U.S., with Russia and China, where country lives could be lost unnecessarily. Should he really be commenting considering his past record regarding lives lost unnecessarily? Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I grew up with a healthy respect for Kissinger in the sense that, obviously, Vietnam, okay, whatever. But a lot of the readings, we read a lot of Kissinger in grad school. I respect the guy's mind, but we're at the edge of war with Russia. I don't think we're at the edge of war with Russia. I think we're closer to war with Russia than we were a year ago. Sure. We're having a proxy war with Russia. Sure. And China, we are not at the edge of war with China. I just think that's ridiculous. What was his point, though? What was his conclusion? What was he trying to say? Pay attention. Oh, thank you for the Aflac. Sorry, I missed. I saw the duck through the corner of my eye. Oop, now I'm trying to go back and see who got me the Aflac duck. What did the rest of the article say, Harvey? Was he saying anything as far as is he 99? Get out. He's 99. I mean, my aunt's 102 and still kicking quite well. I mean, she's not writing treaties about international relations, but her brain is shockingly there. I'd be curious what actually, that's another thing, Q&A and TikTok. I'd be curious what the rest of the article said in terms of what was his point. Because again, he's not wrong about Russia. We're closer to war with Russia than we've been. China, one could argue there's maybe a greater threat. One could argue there's maybe a lesser threat, because let's face it, what's going on with China is they've also seen what's going on with Ukraine, and maybe China's thinking twice about what they should do next, So, yeah. What else we got here, kids? Boop. Let me see here. I know. Get Kissinger and Gorby in a boxing match. Seriously. PB&J asks, do you have thoughts on why the U.S. hasn't talked about banning visas for Russians and declaring Russia a terrorist state? Do you think Biden will do either? Not until Brittany is returned. I think this was not my initial idea. It was somebody else's, but I think they're right that Biden's being careful about the Brittany Griner thing. And he's worried that if he declares Russia a terrorist state, that then Putin's going to be like, that's it. We're not talking to you. Diplomatic relations are over. And the big danger there is that it hurts any kind of negotiation for Brittany. And for Paul Whelan, I think is his name. Is it Paul or Ed? Paul Whelan, I think. Paul or Ed, I forget, but the guy who's been there for a couple of years now, is he former military? They accused him of spying. So on this one, I'm not going to fault Biden totally. I think, thank you, Marcy, for that. I'm not going to, Paul Whalen, thank you. I'm not going to fault Byland. Someone says my truly wealth of knowledge, and I'm calling him Byland because I was reading. Thank you, but I was reading your comment. See, whenever I read the comments while I'm talking, it totally throws me. I try to read them because I want to like interact with you guys, but totally throws me. Thank you for the flowers, Maggie. So yeah, I think in this case I get where Biden's coming from. Having said that, I think Biden is still too afraid of Putin. Thank you, Bonnie, for the lights. I think he's still too afraid of Putin, and meaning he's afraid of making Putin angry, making Putin feel isolated, making Putin feel cornered, making Putin feel humiliated. So therefore, I don't think he would do this. I don't think he would declare them a terrorist state because he'd be like, "Ooh, that's a little too mean." And now I will say this: there's an argument. I'm sure Biden would ask, and he'd go, "Well, what do we get out of it? What do we get out of calling?" Out of labeling them a terrorist state? And that would be a fair question, right? When I was looking at this issue months ago when it first came up, there was an argument that, first of all, the sanctions, it wasn't like there was that many more sanctions that would kick into place, but what was important was the money and the access to the money and the fact that Ukrainian civilians could sue and could basically sue in court to get some of all the Russian money that we have frozen, that the frozen assets, civil suits, things like that. That could be huge. And not only would that be huge, but that would really piss people off. Piss the Russians off and piss Putin off, because now you're literally, by doing it, you're stealing his money, like for good. Anyway, whose birthday is it, Harvey? Whose birthday? Whose birthday? Oh, it's Syndicate's birthday today. Aw. Happy birthday, Mr. Syndicate. See, my voice is almost low enough that it would work doing my Marilyn Monroe voice. Happy birthday, Mr. Syndicate. There you go. Exactly. And you're getting streamers exploding from Poppy over on TikTok as well. He didn't tell me it was his birthday. Didn't tell me. Roshin. Actually, just to make things more confusing, a friend of mine who is like intimate knowledge of the region told me that it's Roshin. And actually even pronounced like Roshin. I can't even pronounce it. So then I was like, you know what? I've been slapped about this too many times. Like, I've got it written down as Roshin, and I'm not arguing with it. You're getting many happy birthdays over on TikTok, Syndicate. Oh, it's Roshin's birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Roshin. Oh, I thought it was Syndicate's birthday. See, it said your sister Syndicate. And I was like, why are you calling Syndicate a girl? I just kind of went with it. Oh, it's Roshin's. Never mind. Take it back from Syndicate. It's Roshin's birthday. I told him, I said, trust me, you don't want to get into it with her. Her name's Roshin. But anyway, so there you go. You have to take Syndicate's birthday back and save it for another day. So there we go. All right. What do we got going here now? Let me see. What other questions? Yeah. All right. Oops. TikTok. Poland have joined other Baltic states to ban visas for Russians. What is your view on this sort of sanction? I like it. That's from Now Mikey. I like it now, Mikey. Chancellor Scholz of Germany weighed in and said, it wouldn't be fair to the Russian people. Our battle is with Putin, not with the people. And maybe, but to me, why then did we kick McDonald's out? I doubt Putin's eating McDonald's, right? It's his people, right? The rich may eat McDonald's, but it's probably the blue collar folks, as we call them, the working class that's eating McDonald's, right? I don't get it. My birthday's the end of November, usually around Thanksgiving. So the people that have been complaining, look, as far as I'm concerned, Thank you for those, by the way. Any Russian, Kay, thanks for that. Any Russian who's going to Europe on vacation has got money. I very much doubt that any Russian going to Europe for vacation is a working class Russian. I don't think it. Most of them are not. Most of them have got money, especially the ones that are going further out, that are going to Paris and other places, Germany, etc. They are writing down the buffering thing so I can tell people about it. They got money. And as far as I'm concerned, thank you, Ellie, or Eli, whichever, cut them off. Cut them off. I mean, I was talking to folks about this the other day. It's not like, it's not like baby formula or something. It's not like we're cutting off penicillin and insulin to Russia. It's vacationing in countries that you're kind of at war with. I mean, let's even go that far. We're kind of at war with these guys, kind of, maybe we shouldn't be vacationing. And maybe, especially in their country, we shouldn't. Are there a lot? But do you think there's a lot of Russian working class having vacations in Europe? I mean, maybe jumping across the border in the Baltic states, maybe, but anywhere else? I don't know. Nonetheless, oh, good, Tayden. I'm glad you're feeling better. I just don't buy it. I also feel, too, like we're talking about a luxury anyway. Even if it's the working class, it's a vacation. Ukrainians are dying in a genocide, and people are getting all verklempt over the notion that, oh, my God, how could you cut off the Russians from their vacation while the Ukrainians are being forced out of their country en masse and suffering genocide? Thank you, Bonnie. I'm like, I just don't have a lot of sympathy for them. Let them have their baby formula. Let them have their insulin. But when it comes to visiting the Côte d'Azur, no. It's a vacation. So yes, and I kind of feel like, you know what? They need to suffer, because the more they suffer, the more there is at least a chance that they will put some pressure on their government. It's not as if we're going to find just the right sanction that somehow makes the Russian people, rise up and overthrow their government. This is a very long process of turning the Russian people against their government. And part of it is that Putin's decisions are taking away the daily things they like, and that they're having to give it up. And after a while giving it up, they might not like. Thank you. I am the inspired. I'm saying I am the visas. I wrote the next comment. I am the inspired one for that. I just say take away the visas. I just don't have not a lot of sympathy here, but I do think, I want the Russian people a little ticked off. I want the people a little ticked off. I do love people who come here and say you're in love with your own voice. This is literally a news show. It's literally my channel. Shall I pantomime? Russia. What should we do for Russia? I mean, bye, Tomasz. You're leaving the building, Orc. Exactly. Well, also, I will say, too, that's something they've said before. It's always that you're in love with your own voice. Well, I mean, it's like telling Wolf Blitzer you're in love with your face, because he should be hiding it on TV. Anyway, the orcs get very upset. Oh my, where's Frodo and Sam when you need them? I wonder what sort of ops CIA, MI6, and others are running in Ukraine. Who knows? You lose. Exactly. You lose, dude. I mean, who knows? I think we would be very careful. I would think Biden would be super careful about anything he'd be running there. I would hope we would, but I worry that Biden would, again, not want to cause any trouble with Putin, that Putin would see escalation. And if Putin found out that the CIA was doing something, secretly in Ukraine, he would see that as escalation. So I'm with you. Boris Johnson would do it. So I could definitely see Boris doing it. Biden, I could see if Biden is, here's another possibility. Okay. Again, I'm not convinced it's true, but let's say Biden is playing a game And Biden's game is to publicly keep talking about how, oh, I'm really afraid of World War III, and I don't want to anger Putin, and we can't put him in a corner. But secretly, Biden's giving Ukraine, long-range HIMARS, and secretly, we've got the CIA on the ground helping them. I mean, it's possible that Biden is putting forward a face that is trying to suggest, yeah, we don't want to do too much, but then behind the scenes, we're doing a lot. Maybe. I hope it's true. I don't think it's true, but I hope it's true. There's no way to know, Matt is asking, do I think there's any credence to the reports that a member of Putin's inner circle is in contact with MI6? I did not hear those reports. Did they come anywhere serious, or were they somewhere kind of more goofy? Meaning like a British tabloid we don't really trust, Matt. I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, I don't know. Daily Mail. That was my fear. Yeah. I wouldn't trust the Daily. I mean, the Brits can probably, maybe you are British. The Brits can tell you more, but I wouldn't necessarily trust the Daily Mail. That's the kind of stuff where I'd want to see it. I'd want to see it in an established publication first before I would believe it, Oh, cool, Irina. Because of the software I'm using, I can't actually access links or copy them, but other people can check it out. Oh, well, I'm going to share it here, but I don't think they can click here either or copy. You know what, Irina, why don't you message one more time and tell people the name of the group and the name of the song so they can Google it. Because otherwise I don't have any way of sharing I'm a little afraid of jumping off of the screen and having the screen freeze. Oh, funny. The song that she's putting up includes the sounds of Russians panicking in Crimea. Oh my God. Actually, you know what, Irina? Text me the song because I can pull it up and play it for folks really quick. This is my friend Irina, who is Ukrainian, but lives here in Washington, D.C. area. So always like when she gives me stuff. I heard about videos of Russian tourists attacking Ukrainian refugees in Switzerland. I did not hear that. I didn't hear that. Alec is saying there's a video of Russian tourists attacking Ukrainian refugees in Switzerland. Well, those Russians always doing what they can to prove everybody that they're right. You're from Romania? Why are you mad? Oh, Russia is a conglomerate of lands. Their kryptonite is Orthodox religion. CIA should know this. Now, what do you mean by their kryptonite? What about the Orthodox religion? What can be done? What can be done with it? Konstantin? Always fun to chat with a Romanian. Son of God is asking too. Yeah, I'm just curious what Cindy, I don't mind that he's putting it here now because I see it now. Normally, yes. Normally, we'd want you to put it in the Q&A. But since I already saw it and I'm asking him questions, I'd almost rather him put the answer here. So, Konstantin, why do you say the Orthodox religion is Russia's kryptonite? I'm curious. Because that's interesting feedback. So that's the Q&A should be working in my profile. TikTok disabled the Q&A in the actual lives, which is very annoying. I'm sorry, did I even yawn? I don't even listen. Now I'm going to yawn. Irina, text me the actual URL to the song, if you would, because then I'll pull it up on my phone. It will not let me post on Q&A. Really? Wait, so now you guys can't even post the Q&A questions? What does it actually do? I didn't know that. What does it actually do? Because again, I'm going to report this. What happens? You go to the Q&A section and what happens? I'm sorry, I don't mean to get off topic, but this is helpful because this is feedback for me being able to help folks on TikTok in the future. So what happens when you go? I mean, you go, you try to post a question, you click post and it doesn't let you. What literally happens? You enter, but it doesn't show as posted. Okay, let me tell you what I've got on here right now. Or actually, I can show you the last couple. Okay, test question, did it work? from Cindy. So that worked. Test 815 from Cami. So that worked. Now it seems to be working. Inspired Woman. Yep. Another one from Cami. Inspired Woman. It seems everybody's working now. Big Hawk. Okay, everybody. I've got nonstop. This is a test. This is a test. This is a test. The cookie donations did not do too well, Carol is asking. Vlad, I forgot to ask him the latest, but actually I forgot to tell you guys, we are raising money for to get cookies for Ukrainian kids. Thank you for asking that, because I totally forgot to put it on my notes today. Vlad, my Ukrainian contact and friend, who's done a lot of the other fundraisers with us, contacted me and said, Harkovu Mir, which is the nonprofit that we've been working with, I would call them our, we're their guardian angel, I guess, but they're the folks we've been raising a lot of money for. Typically, Harkovu Mir delivers food. So they deliver food to shut-ins. When people were stuck in the subways because it was being bombed, nonstop, they would deliver food to the subways, food to people's homes because there aren't many grocery stores open anymore, things like that, right? Well, one of the things they weren't doing was, they were preparing basic adult meals for the family, borscht, soup, and other kind of things, bread. Thank you, Eli, for that. And they weren't including cookies and sweets for the kids and stuff because they didn't want to, sort of give bad food. Well, now 6 months into the war, they thought, it might be nice for us to actually do some cookie deliveries for the kids, like to bring the households treats for the kids because they don't have any treats for the kids at all. So I put up a fundraiser on my TikTok. You can find it. The link to how to donate is on TikTok in my Beacons link. Go to my TikTok profile, folks, and you look at my profile and you see that link that's under Discord and merchandise. It says beacons.ai. Click that link, and you'll see a welcome, and then the very first thing is help us send cookies to Ukraine kids. For you guys, I will simply, and basically we are sending it to Vlad's PayPal as we have done before. For you guys right here, you all, I'm just giving you Vlad's PayPal directly. It's the same PayPal we've used for all of our donations. 100% of the money will go for buying the cookies for kids. They've already found some factories that are willing to give them a deal, which is good. Factories can't do it for free because this is a struggling country right now, but at least doing a deal. And literally the first 24 hours I had it up, we only got $100. Now, it was because it was Saturday and Sunday when I wasn't broadcasting, because I do think a lot of the stuff comes in from you guys when I tell you all. So if you can give, I'd appreciate it. Let me show you one lucky person will receive. One moment. So we are going to pick one person at random who has given $5 or more, and I am going to give them this Vyshyvanka. I'm going to mail it to you. This is one of the short sleeves ones. It's still very cool. This is the one I used to make the t-shirt. I scanned it. I took a picture, but it's a really pretty one. I mean, I'll show you close because it's, these things, they're embroidered. I mean, just beautiful shirt. So I'm going to ship it. We are going to, I will send it internationally if it's somebody abroad who wins. I'm hoping it's not more than 25. It's not going to cost you, but I mean, we'll take it out of our budget, but my budget, like I have a budget. Let me put this back because I don't even want it sitting in the kitchen. I don't want it to get any oil on it. Ooh. So there you go. Yeah. I'll ship it worldwide. From what I was looking at, it may only be $25 for me to use the like the international shipping with the U.S. Postal Service. Thank you. Yeah, the balcony has been doing really well now. We've had a lot of heat and a lot of. I am going to be auctioning stuff on the Discord as well. I'm sort of holding off because I'm going to Chicago for a month and then coming back. So I didn't want to. I may bring some to Chicago and auction them there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I do have a green thumb. So in any case, there we go. So just to be aware, we can do a couple more questions and then we'll go. But if folks would go and check that out, I would appreciate it, because I want to, they asked us to at least raise $1,000 if we could. And I was kind of hoping that cookies, I mean, somebody actually complained. Somebody complained on TikTok and was like, I'm not sure we should be giving children cookies. I mean, right? I mean, I was like, and I controlled myself and I was like, they've been under bombardment for 6 months in wartime. I think it's okay for them to have a cookie. You know, yeah, Satan, exactly. Seriously, I was just like, really? Like, you know, like she's one of those mothers. I know it's a genocide, but you really shouldn't be having a cookie. You know, so no, I mean, she's not wrong, but these kids are in a war. Imagine what it's been like with the bombs going off for 6 freaking months. I don't think I could handle it for one night, you know? Anyway, no, that's my thought. In any case, guys, if you can help out, I'd appreciate it. I said I was going to end it tonight, but I'm probably going to go one more night so I can let you guys know tomorrow how it's doing and give you one last chance to pitch in. Actually, I should have said at the beginning of the broadcast when we had more people, but I did not. So, yes, you know what? I'm going to call it quits because we're getting closer to 7. I'm going to do the what do you call it? The recap really quick. And the other thing I want to show you guys is I've now, I've got new stuff in the store. I can't show you here. I wish I could, but I can. I've got a very bad picture of it. I don't want to show you my bad picture. Let me see. Hold on. I think I've got a better one. I can show you. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Laka. Appreciate it. Hold on. I'm going to show you this. So I've got 2 new things in the store. One is, I love this. I just love this. So Wendy Turner, one of us, drew this, and it's now in the store. It's my dog, Sasha. Now, it's actually a little smaller than this. This is a bigger picture. I did a smaller version that's on the shirt. But it's Sasha wearing a, I wrote down what it was. I'm forgetting now. A Vinku? Something. I'm forgetting what it's called now. And Irina, I didn't show it to you, but we did show it to another Ukrainian friend because I was worried whether it was sacrilegious or something. And she said, it's adorable. So I said, okay. But that is my dog, Sasha, wearing the traditional Ukrainian crown with flowers. Let me try to pull it up for you, actually, because I can probably do a better job. Just here. This one. This is another one that's great. Thank you, Netlin. Let's go back. I'll show you the real size of it. And then you've got to check, of course, women's shirts, men's shirts. I've got 2 different styles. As always, you've got to kind of go to the bottom. Here, I liked it a little. This is how I did it, because I liked it a little bit smaller. It looks bigger on the women's shirts than the unisex. On the unisex, I wanted it a touch smaller, so that's how it actually will look on the unisex. You can see. And I've got lots of different colors up there per your requests. I think it's nice. It's a bit feminine, but I'd wear it, you know, because it's my dog. So lots of different colors. Vinok. There you go. Vinok. Yep. Called a Vinok. And then the other one is, because Vlad sent me, I had Vlad buy me a bunch of different more military patches in Ukraine, the military patches, and I had him get me some, scanned them in. So I'm going to be selling, auctioning, but also giving as a prize the different patches. This one is really cool. It's the Ukrainian Civil Service Force, Civil Defense Forces. Now, there, it's a different meaning than here. There, it's kind of like National Guard, I would say, civil defense. It's not like here preparing for, bomb shelters and things, I don't think. It's sort of taking up arms. But this is a really cool Well, the way the shirt makes, I always hate the way the shirt makes it because the shirt design that they use makes it look a little muted. But it's the Ukrainian trident in the middle of the Cossack cross, it's called. But I love this one. I'm buying this one. And again, it doesn't do it justice. You kind of have to go to the store and look it up, because if you look at it in a different, I always pull up the women's shirts because the design, for some reason, the way the store does it, the women's shirt gives a clearer look at what the design is. So I'll show you really quick. So for example, yeah, so here you get a better look at what the design actually looks like. It's totally cool. I love this. So there you go. Isn't that cool? At least for my taste. I like it. I also like the colors and the trident and everything about it. Well, here's the thing. Okay, what they were claiming was that it was the civil defense forces, they were saying, Irina, because there were a number of different colors. This color, they were saying civil defense. I will even pull up my list because I want to make sure I get it right. But I was getting it off of a website in Ukraine. I mean, sort of a military surplusy kind of shop there. And hang on, pull this open. Actually, I had Googled it too. Yeah, civil defense badge. Ukraine and Wikipedia. I'm 99% sure I found it on Wikipedia because I was being very careful about all of this. Territory Defense Forces. Yeah, here we go. Wait, that's one of them. Hold on, guys. Come on. Where are the rest of the patches? Now it's not going to show me all of them. All right, well, now it's not showing. Check if you can double check, because I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. My point is I checked. I'm not going to say I couldn't get something wrong, but I had checked, and it was the civil defense, Ukrainian Civil Defense Force. Oh, here we go. Military ranks, armed forces, military intelligence. Hang on. Are they calling it, it's not territorial. Are they calling it territorial defense maybe? No. Nope, it's not that. Hang on, guys. We're going to slip over it. See, now I'm breaking my little rule about not spending time doing the rest of this stuff. State Border Guard. It's close to State Border Guard, but not quite. No. All right. Not finding it right here, though. National Guard, State Border Guard, Territorial Defense. All right, I'm not going to find it now. Oh, well. And anyways, the website, oh, these crazy people are back. The website for the store is simply my last name, aravosis.com. And for the Discord that we're about to head over to talk about Trump, it's discord.aravosis.com. Oh, this is going to drive me bonkers here. It's called a badge or a patch. Maybe it's a patch. I should call it a patch. All right, guys, I'm going to quit this now. But Irina, you can double check for me. But I'm 99% sure that's what it is. At least that's how the Ukrainian website was calling it that we bought it from. Doesn't mean they got it right, but... Oops, is that the one? Nope. It's kind of orange. All right. I'm going to give up now. I mean, if somebody else wants to do a reverse image search, be my guest. Here. Somebody else want to hear. Somebody want to screen copy this and do a reverse image search? And check it out. Beep. Anyway, we'll figure it out. All right. Let me go and do a quick summary of the news. So possibly 100 Wagner mercenaries were killed in a HIMARS strike. Excellent news. The Ukrainian forces again struck the Antonovsky Bridge going across the Dnieper River in preparation for the upcoming, hopefully, counteroffensive. More Russian recruitment centers were attacked in Russia just a couple of days ago. We're at least 20 recruitment centers that have been attacked by local Russians. Russian state-controlled media says that Kremlin proxies in Donbass are getting ready to sentence 5 foreigners who fought for Ukraine. They are facing the death penalty. Brittany Griner has appealed. The appeal could take 3 months. At the same time, a top Russian diplomat said discussions were moving ahead on a possible prisoners exchange. Russia has been targeting nuclear plants again. Big surprise. Ukraine destroyed another Russian attack helicopter. They destroyed 3 in the last few days. Latvia is delivering 4 helicopters to Ukraine. And Belarusian activists fear that the Russians are amassing large numbers of missiles on their territory, preparing to attack Ukraine. All right, guys. Yeah, Irina, we can both check again afterwards. But regardless, it's a very cool patch. So I like it. All right, guys, we're moving over to the Discord, discord.aravosis.com, and hope to see you there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Hopefully people, well, we've got a number of us try to be helpful over there. I hope people weren't being rude to you over there at the Discord, you mean, Netlin. All right. Thanks, Dark Chef. All right. Voice chat, correct. Voice chat on Discord. Yeah. At some point, we figured out how I can do video too, but at this point, voice is easier. Because Discord itself would only let me go live video with 25 people or fewer. So it works this way, though. All right, guys. Tomorrow, same thing, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll do our Ukraine chat. And let's go. Yeah, hopefully no one's rude on Discord. I thought you were saying Discord. But yeah, guys, check out my Discord. I will give you one last time. Discord.aravosis.com. Oops, discord.aravosis.com. And for you all. And the final point is a number of people had a hard time with the Discord because they weren't using the phone app. You for sure want to use the app. I use my an app on my Mac laptop, but I also use the Discord app on my iPhone. And in that case, it tends to work very well. It doesn't work as well if you're trying to install it without the app. That's when a lot of people have problems. Oops. Oh, that's funny. Facebook didn't let me put it. Anyway, it's discord.aravosis.com. Okay. All right, guys, I'm heading over there. Again, we'll figure it out one of these days if anybody still hasn't figured it out. Okay, no problem. Come on over and you'll see. There's just a bunch of little categories on the left. We will be all the way down under voice chat. So all the way down to voice chat, and you will see something called John's After Party or something like that. Okay. Oh, what a surprise. Zhang Hao is saying hello to me on Grindr. I kid you not. Zhang Hao. Well, hello, Zhang Hao. Let me guess. 70 miles away? Could he be? Oh, doesn't say his distance. Isn't that surprising? Yes. Uh-huh. I bet you are. I bet you are. All right, guys. I'll see you over there. Get these people. They crack me up. They just crack me up. Oh, my God.